गोपाल भट्ट प्रिय पूज्य शालोद्ग्राम भवम श्यामं तनुं सुशोभम विभंग्रम रूपम कल्वेणुवक्त्रम श्री श्रील राधा रमणं नमामि। श्री श्रील राधा रमणं नमामि। श्री श्रील राधा रमणं नमामि। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थे स्वभिज्ञः स्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः तेजो वारी मृदां यथ विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। अहो बकीयं स्तनकालकूटं जिगांस्यपाय यदप्यसाध्वी लेभे गतिं धार्त्युचितां ततोऽन्यं कं वा दयालुं शरणं व्रजेम। न्यौमीढ्यते भ्रवपुषे तडिदम्बराय गुञ्जावतंस परिपेक्ष्यलसन्मुखाय वन्यास्रजे कवलवेत्रविषाणवेणो लक्ष्माश्रिये मृदुपदे पशुपाङ्ग्रजाय मनोजवं मारुतुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिवतां वरेष्ठं वातातमजं वानरयूथमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शरणं प्रपद्ये। ॐ श्री गुरुवे नमः। ॐ श्री गुरुवे नमः। ॐ श्री गुरुवे नमः। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम शांति शांति शांति।
Wow, my phone is ringing.
It's Krishna.
And I did not even give this number to anyone. I got this number just yesterday, and I have no idea who's calling me from America.
It's Krishna calling.
Just thank you everyone for coming, and I bow to the God who is sitting in all of your hearts. It's so pleasant to see the new faces today. Every day I'm just seeing the faces of my dear devotees, and I was like, I really want to see that what America have, rather than all three of you who is just being with me in all the tours. As Das have just described that I was born into the bhakti path, the path of devotion, it's kind of true, and it's not true as well. I had my own desires, and when we talk about the devotion, so devotion is something where you have to be completely devoted towards the Lord. But I had my own desires, when I was, I was being brought up in that bhakti. The city is all about the devotion, because we have more than 5,000 temples in Vrindavan, where the Radha and Krishna have spent their times, and they did their pastimes. And if I really think about my life back in those days, and I remember that I was doing everything, for the sake of doing. If my parents, who were my guru, or, all the sages and the saints from the entire world used to visit, I was meeting them. But I was not getting the essence of it, what's that essence, which they are enjoying, but I wasn't enjoying. So I had my own desires. I was pursuing my bachelor degree in the business administration. Then I was thinking for the master degree in the business administration. And I was feeling that my path, maybe, as I belonged to the society, or there were so many of the followers, even though I was not acting as a guru, I was just learning, but still some people were inclined somehow or got attracted that what I was learning, and they wanted me to act as a guru. They wanted to hear something from me, and I was like, please be away from me, because I even have no idea, what is this all about. And to act a teacher means you really need to know that what you're going to speak. And I was confused. I really had no idea that how could I even see him. And I had so many scriptures in front of me, and all the scriptures, sometimes I used to find the mantras, the different mantras, the different hymns to see him. And I was like, okay, that's the good thing. Let me just see him first, that to make me believe that he exists in this world. Because that's the important thing for a teacher. If he's going to preach or teach, he should realize, he should see the God. Otherwise, if he's not seeing the God, but he's talking that the God is here, then he's lying. Because he actually haven't seen the God ever. So you have to really see the God first. I was confused. I was hearing about him, but I did not see him. There was, and I was thinking, let me just get into some kind of a austere practice, what the saints in India have done. I didn't go to the forest, obviously, because there is no forest now in India. There is only the population everywhere. And the Indian population is very famous. Is reaching or going to defeat the Chinese population soon. So I started doing the spiritual practice and to evoke those mantras. to see that whether this God exists in this world or not. I did not know seriously what even if I was doing was correct or not. But I felt it's best to even try or to give a try rather than just sitting and thinking about, okay, God is here, everyone are saying I should also believe on this thing that the God is here and I'll preach. But I started doing it and I spent my couple of years practicing those mantras, but I did not see any God. I was like, this is all bogus. These people are crazy. I don't know what they are wearing such a fancy clothes, putting so many marks on their forehead, and I have really no idea that, I was like, this is all bogus. They just want to show themselves in some funny way, how the tantric is in our religion. And then one day I was thinking, it's so many people are there and finding the God in the different paths. But there are very few people who maybe are willing to find the demons. So why don't I see the demons first? Because if the demons are there, the God will be there as well. Because we hear there is always a fight between the gods and demons. And I was like, I am unlucky that I cannot see the God, but demons are always lucky because when they go and fight with the God, they see the God. So demons are more luckier than me. So I should actually go and find that if demon exists in this world or not. So we have the scriptures for the demons as well. Yes, India have millions of scriptures. Hinduism have millions of scriptures, and that we have the scriptures to evoke or to see the demons also, or to control the demons. Those practices used to start at the midnight when everyone used to go to sleep, and then only I used to, be awake and sit attentively. And well, it was like more into there that you had to sit on the dead body's chest and then do the spiritual practice to evoke that mantra, and that will help you to see the demon. And I was like, I'm not going to sit on the dead body's chest. I can't do that. And in India, we burn the dead bodies. So how can I even sit on the dead body's chest? We don't have the graveyards in India, and not in Vrindavan especially. But the procedure was so hard in there. And leaving in the house 12 o'clock in the night, my parents, my family would ask me, where are you going at the night this time? And there was no clubs in Vrindavan. I couldn't even tell them that I'm going somewhere, to the club or here, there. I couldn't even speak anything to them. So I was thinking that I have to find a way to do this spiritual practice at my house only. In my house, in some solitude place where they cannot see that what I'm doing. Now the thing came that how that demon looked like. What the scripture was telling me was making me afraid. It's like 1,000 snakes are coming from the both, nostrils of the both nostrils, and the big snakes are kind of flying on the eyelid, on the hair of this, on the eyelid, on the eyelashes. And I was like, wow, that's so terrifying. What if any snake would come and will bite you? You will be dead. So, but I was like, but still, let me see if he exists or not, because we all talk about that there is a demons who lives in the hell, and there is a God who lives in the heaven. Yes. God, so many people are running after him that I want to see, but I want to see demon. Very few of them. Many few people are there to see him. I was like, okay, just sit and do the spiritual practice. For 6 months, I remember, for 6 months, every night, I used to sit for 3 hours to practice that mantra. Very difficult mantra, and I do not know what it was even speaking about. Yes, and some horrifying, the sound was coming from that mantra, and I was feeling, okay, sounds terrifying to me, but still, if I can control that person, that demon, I can make him a nice person. I will ask him, go and do some grooming. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to see all these snakes coming out from your nose and from your ears and from your eyelashes. So I was thinking about it, but 6 months left, and I did not even see. I fulfilled all those requirements, just not the one that to sit on the asana or on the dead body's chest. This is what I didn't do. This is like my soul was not really allowing me to go and find someone's dead body and sit on, that dead body's chest. It's like, what's that have to do with the demon? But still I was trying. So I fulfilled all of those requirements, sat down, and after 6 months, I found there was no result at all. I was like, okay, the God doesn't exist, the demon doesn't exist. So why should I even become a guru? Why should I even get into all of these things? Okay, I'm a priest in the temple. I'm worshipping the God. Maybe there is some attraction is there, something is there. But millions of people, they are all fool. They all are fool. So what I wanted to do, some of our in the family, the followers, they were in the Bollywood, Indian Bollywood. So they had a couple of times asked me, why don't you just come to Bombay, and give your portfolio, or and just try for it, learn some acting or something, or do. I never really wanted it. I was thinking more, no, go for a modeling, like go to the gym, make your good body, and then go, and on top of it, one of my cousin, he's a flight attendant, and so I was thinking that's a very glamorous job as well. I should really think about it, that I might travel for free. I don't really have to pay anything, and they will pay for that flying. Who would be that stupid that paying for your travel and you are just enjoying? And you are enjoying just for a few hours, you are maybe serving them, yes, but still that's a very good job. So my endeavors were that even I was pursuing or doing my bachelor degree in business administration, and I was thinking to go for a master, but I was thinking, okay, these 3 things, one of them I have to become. But I had to convince my parents as well. They were the Indian parents, not like here, like, okay, do whatsoever you want, but be good and do good to the community and society. Don't bring the, bad fame to the family. So, in India, we have to convince our parents that what we are actually going to do. If they are convinced, then only we can move. So one day, I was every day finding that how's my father's mood, because fathers are very tough in India. Mothers are, not just in India, everywhere, I guess. And so I was finding that when my father is calm, in peace, and I can, nicely go to him, approach him, and put my, ideas in front of him, so he can even tell me that what I can do in my life. I found one morning, very peaceful morning, he was enjoying his cup of tea. I went, I paid my pranams, I bowed down in front of him. I sat down. I said, that I have some serious issue and I'm in a bit of dilemma that what path I should choose. So it would be nice that if you can tell me that which path is good for me. But don't think, I had to put some sweet talks in there that he won't really feel that he's losing me. So I said, I will become a guru, don't worry about it. Yeah, but that would be the mid age, around 50 or something. I will come back. But there is some ideas that I really want to do. And in our community, no one in the 500 years have done that. So my father, I really want to do something, which would bring some fame, in the family. He's like, okay, so what's your ideas? I was like, look, I have 3 options that where I'm seeing my future. It's like, okay, tell me what's your ideas. I said that I am thinking that, as one of your followers have also approached me, and you know very well that they are asking me that, to try my future in the Bollywood. So my father, he was, taking a sip of that, that tea. He put his cup down. I was like, okay, that's going to be a serious talk between a father and a son. Because you want to be, 100% into that conversation. That's why he was, okay, this tea is my distraction, so let me put it away and talk to him. So he was being clearly focused on that, and I was like, okay, that's something. So I said, what do you think about me going into the Bollywood? No one ever, any from the Guru's family ever tried to go into the Bollywood, into the Bombay thing. It would be such a fame that, someone took brought the revolution in the family. Otherwise, everyone do the same thing there. Fine. He said, would you like to run around the bushes and the trees and singing a song with the actress? I was like, no, I seriously don't want to do that. You know how in Indian movies there's a actor and actresses start to run around in the garden and do some PT, the personal training kind of a thing, moves their hands and running here and there. So I said, I hate that stuff. I hate that stuff. So I said, no, I don't want to do that. He said, you're not going to get the A-class movies, first-class movies that the director is asking you, hey, come, choose which role do you want, and then he would just give you the role. You will be in the grade B or grade C movies at the first. Yes, let's talk about then. There would be the actress would be there, and the director will tell you, hey, run around the trees and sing this song. I was like, this is such a bad thing. I cannot even think about, running around the trees and like singing a song for an actress. I cannot do that. Like, okay, so you cannot do that, then there's no hope in the acting. I was like, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I don't want to go in this acting thing. It's like, but I said, but I have the another options. Like, what options do you have? Like, I have another option, and that option is that I want to try modeling. Yeah, it's a nice thing. And I remember on that time, it's 12 years ago. Yeah, it's 12 years ago. I was in the gym like 3 hours working. I don't look like that. I was, in the gym. Yeah, but on that time, I used to go for 2-3 hours, 4 hours. Yeah, like my whole evening, I used to spend it there because I wanted to become something. Yeah. And so my father asked, you just said that in the age of 50, you will come in this spiritual practice and you will become a guru, right? I said, yes, that's true. Later when I will be retired from all this modeling, or they will retire me, okay, your age is... you are not young anymore. So then I will come and, join you in this spirituality. He said, how would you find that at the age of 50, when you will start to make the disciples or the followers, and they will put your photograph when you were young and wearing the underwear and giving a modeling pose? I was like, I can't even think about it. It would be too embarrassing for me, to see myself on the altar next to the God, but wearing a underwear and giving a pose. Would be very hard. So he said, well, you have to walk on the ramp wearing the swim wear. Can you do that? I was like, no, I can't do that. Like, but this is all about the modeling. You have to expose yourself. I was like, okay, just leave it then, please. I don't want to do that. So my father was like, okay, what else do you have? I said, I have something very special. It's about serving others. Like, okay. I said, I have, my cousin, I told his name. I said, he is the flight attendant. And I'm thinking that why shouldn't I become one? So my father replied, oh, so you want to be a waiter, right? I said, no, I don't want to become a waiter. I want to become the flight attendant. It's like, it's all about the waiter thing. Yes, you're going, serving the food. Yes, asking, what do you want, ma'am? Which beverages do you want? We have this in the menu. They tell you, you give it to them. And once they are done, you take their plates back, and put it in the garbage or somewhere. Like, if you really want to serve, I know one of my disciples owns a 5-star hotel, so I can put you in one restaurant there. It's good. Start it from the earth. Be a down-to-earth person. Then fly. And I was like, no, it's not about down to earth. I want to be a flight attendant. Please understand. It's like, no, this is a job of the waiter. And I said, no, it's not a job of waiter. And I couldn't even, stop my emotions, because he very cleverly, nicely, peacefully killing all my desires, my ideas, by telling that whatsoever ideas you have, are not perfect for you. And I was like, no, you're wrong. It's like, no, I'm not wrong. It is a job of the waiter, kind of, if you really think from the another angle. I was like, yeah, you are right. I can't really say you're not right. Then, I had so much hope when I went to him. And after those hopes were nicely killed by my father, there was no hope left, and my father asked, anything else left? And I was like, I had no answer. I was speechless. I left from there. Because this is what I wanted to do ever. And this is what I was dreaming about, that one day I would become this, or one day I would become that. Everyone do it. It's a normal thing. In the young age, I was doing the same thing. Still I am young. I'm not saying that I'm not. But, on that time when I was into that, mode at 12, 13 years ago, then I just was like really emotional, wanted a time, far from everything. I didn't find where the God was. I didn't find that if the demons even exist. I did not, whatsoever the ideas I had, nothing really worked out for me. And so I just wanted a time, just my time. So I went in my room When I went in my room, I closed my, room and went to the bed, and I still remember I put the pillow on me that I don't want to see anyone. And I started crying. And I was like, nothing is left in this, in this world for me. Whatever they want whatever they want me to become, I cannot become, I cannot even become like that because I did not even see the God. And whatever I want to become, I'm unable to because my father just killed all my ideas. What shall I do? And I started crying. When I was crying, like when you cry, when you're so heavy, your heart is so heavy and you just fall asleep. So in the same way, I fell asleep. When I was falling asleep, I was just remembering my God Radharaman, whose painting was there, on the wall in my room, and I was chastising him. And I was saying that, why did you even put me into this situation? First, gave me a birth in this some spiritual or with the heritage or that kind of a guru family that everyone are expecting something from you, and then afterward, whatsoever my desires are, you're not even making them fulfilled, and you want me to worship you? I cannot worship you. I cannot see anything in you. I cannot even see my future. What to talk about, others' future, because you want everyone goes to the gurus because they want to learn about their future, or they want to learn some techniques so they can even make their future better. But here I cannot even see my future. So I was crying and I fell asleep, thinking all of these things and chastising my God. And when I fell asleep, I saw one dream. And that dream was that I was in some forest and there was some cave. I was inside the cave and chasing one beautiful girl. We were playing the hide and seek game. She was going to hide and I was finding her, that where is she? So we were playing that hide and seek game. She ran into the cave and was somewhere in the dark caves. It was a big long cave and I went to search her, that where is she, and I found like a 5-year-old boy with his one stick on his hand, and he was just standing there. I went and I got shocked and I asked, what are you doing here? This is a forest, and on top of it this is a dark cave. What are you doing here? Tell me where that girl is. When I asked that boy replied, I was just waiting for you. I was like, waiting for me? Boy, you're so small. Go back to home. Or tell me where do you live? I'll take you to your house. It's not a safest place to be here. And I was like, no, I know very well that where I am, but you do not know where you are. But I'm here for you. Didn't you recognize me? The moment he said that, did not you recognize me? I looked at his face, and it was none other than my Radharaman, my God. I paid my homage to him, and it was all happening in the dream. I said, tell me where that girl is, because I'm playing the game. In the dreamy world, you can imagine what you cannot imagine in the reality. Yeah. So even though God was there, I didn't really care about the God. I was caring about that beautiful girl. Yeah, to find that beautiful girl. So I asked that where that beautiful girl is. And he said, I'm here to tell you that you're not focused on one thing. I asked that, what thing am I not focused upon? It's like, your life. What about my life? I was finding you last 2 years. I did all that austerities which the scripture said. I didn't see you. And now you are here telling me that, I'm not focused on my life. I'm trying everything. He said, no, you are not trying. You are still chasing the beautiful girl who is Maya. Who is Maya? The maternal energy, material energy. When I am here and have given you the opportunity to serve me directly, because in the Radharaman temple, the temple I belongs to, in the whole world, wheresoever the deities are, where the idols are, they are carved by all the artists. But the only deity in Vrindavan or in the entire world, the Radharaman's deity, is self-manifested. It was not carved by anyone. It was manifested by the love of the Gopal Bhatta Goswami. And there is a saying in our India that one who wants to see the Krishna, then he should go and visit and seek Radharaman, because in this world at present, if Krishna is anywhere present, then he is present in the form of Radharaman. He said that I gave you the direct opportunity to serve me, but you still are lingering to become a model or an actor or want to become a flight attendant. The moment I heard that, it shook me somehow. My body shivered and I woke up. I took off that pillow which was over me. Maybe it was the oxygen, the lack of oxygen was, I can, have to bring some scientific things as well. I can't just say that I was flowing in the emotional world and and thought that it is all, whatsoever it was, is a reality. Then when I woke up and put that pillow aside, I found that the photograph the photo frame which was hanging on the wall on the other side was lying next to me, and I was shocked. I was like, how can that be possible? My room was locked. I've got up. I started checking, everywhere in my room, that is anyone here in my room, and I didn't find anyone in my room. I thought that how this photograph of Radharaman was hanging when I went to sleep, when I'm awake now, it's just lying next to me. I felt that as Radharaman was trying to tell me that dream was real, it was not something which was your own imagination in that thing. Then I took it as a positive sign, because mind sometimes takes the positive signs, okay, this might be a positive sign. And if it had to, if it was falling down, it was falling down on the floor. Right? I don't know how that photograph or that frame jumped from the wall and came next to me. That was something, incredible. I never even experienced that before in my life. Then I went to my mother. I take my mother as one of my spiritual master, and I said, look, I'm trying to find God last few years, but I am 100% unable to find him out. Can you please help me? Even though I was initiated, I had my gurus, I was doing all the things which my gurus were telling me to do, but again, like every guru have hundreds or thousands of the disciples and followers. You get the blessings in the form of mantra from him, but it's all about that how much you practice. Yes, with the grace of him. I wasn't that much practice, or maybe I practiced it, but somewhere something was not right. Maybe my lingering for all those things which I wanted to be, or maybe there was some mistakes I was committing while doing those spiritual practices, or something was missing. Then when I approached my mother, and my mother said, do one thing. There is one scripture lying in the library. Get that scripture. On that page number, there is one mantra written. Do that mantra for the 9 days, every day 108 times, and after 9 days leave it. Whatever will happen will take you to see the God. I was like, wow, that's easy. Here I spent like all of my years, they were more expensive than this 9 days. It's so easy to see the God. But even I had a belief on my mother. So I went, picked that scripture, turned the pages, got that mantra. Now I was waiting for those 9 days, when I had to start because she had given me the specific date, the auspicious day to start. I waited for that day. When the day came, I sat down. I started doing the mantra 108 times. I did it. Afterward, when the next day came, I was like, everything is all bogus. Leave everything. In the 9 days, you can't see the God when I didn't see it in the 2 years. So I left that mantra, and I did not even chanted it. The whole day passed, night passed. Next day when I woke up, I was like, God, I lost the opportunity by thinking that my mother could give me the wrong mantra, or maybe the mantra cannot work. It's my foolish mind who took me or made me think about it that there is no God. I started feeling very regretful. I went to my God and I started praying to him. I started paying obeisances 100 times. I was like, I'm sorry, I will do the yesterday one also with the one which I have escaped. Plus, please understand that I want to do this 9 days one. And I sat down, I did the 9 days. For the 9 days, 108 times every day, I had to do. It's just very simple thing. Otherwise, gurus ask you, sit like this, do this, do that, do the fire offering, and then you will get this, you will get that. And here in the 15 minutes every day you give, and then you see the God. Somehow for the 9 days I did it. After 9 days, I started feeling the transformation in my heart. My heart was changing. I started feeling it. It's like how I used to be a very angry person, and why couldn't I be an angry person? Because I was going to the gym every day, so I was feeling I have a strength to fight with everyone. And I was in a college, so obviously everyone's have their groups and like to fight with which group will lead. And in the college, I was the head. I was the student, the head, the president. So always there was a fighting between the two groups. There was a rivals and there is us. So we had our people, they had their people. We used to fight with each other. So, as a person, I have been to all of these things, and, so anger was always there. I beat a person. It's like a manly power, only the men can understand, I guess. And No, it is 100% true. In the young age, so when I was into, I started feeling that the anger was leaving me. And when anger, I could just feel it that something was happening internally, but I did not know what was that. And after some time, again, something had happened in my life. I won't really go more to describe that, otherwise it will take the whole night, to describe the whole things of my that spiritual journey. But somehow I got inclined for the very serious spiritual sadhanas or the spiritual practices. Just somehow, someone was pushing me to do it. There was some extra energy was in there. I could feel that I'm not the same person as I was 2 years ago when I was performing any spiritual practices, and I just left everything as like nothing belongs to me. I don't know why it was happening. I just sat down and started doing my spiritual practices. And after when I actually did the spiritual practice, for some certain time, it's those spiritual practices were like, when the guru gives you the mantra. So it's like, when you go to any doctor and doctor gives you the 5 days course or 10 days course to take any medicine, right? So on a very first day, you don't really get the effect of that medicine. After 5 days, 6 days, 7 days, you start getting the effect of that medicine. In a very same way, when you get the mantra from the guru, there is a specific rounds, are there that which you have to chant. And if you don't chant the specific rounds of those mantras, you don't really get the power of that mantra, or you don't really enjoy that mantra. So I did that, the mantras I had got from my guru, and when I started doing it, I can tell you that I actually experienced what that God was. Never seen that a person that beautiful. Never seen a person who is more clever than us, and never seen a person who is more naughtier than any kid, because it was Krishna who was very naughty, and I was worshipping him. Yeah, his own mother, all the cowherd women, every person was so fed up because of his naughtiness, and he started playing his naughty games with me in the life. And when I experienced it, I cannot really take you into my own realizations and of that thing. It's more like to keep it with myself. Then when I found him that he was really there, I started thinking that now maybe it's a time for me to really study the scriptures. Even though I was studying the scriptures from way before, but I was never into it. It just, like every day how you read the Bible, but you don't really understand what, every word of that Bible is speaking. Have the depth in there. There is a meanings between the two lines. Yeah, in between of those lines, there's so much is into there. But we do not know. We are just practicing it. We are just studying it, but we do not know about it. But that day was a day kind of, which has transformed myself, and I thought, now when I have seen what that God is and how he looks like, now I maybe can tell everyone that that God exists. I do not know if demon exists or not till now, because I haven't seen them. But I can tell you with the 100% guarantee that the God exists. But the main issue which when I come here, when I come here in the Western world, in the Eastern philosophies are so rich and have so much depth in their scriptures and people follow. But in the Western world, the technology is like so high, yeah, but not the philosophies are as such. So when I come here, the one thing which I always find that there's always a fighting with our inner self, that who am I? There's always a fighting is going on between, in our with our outer self, or with our inner self, or in our mind, where we are even trying to figure it out, that who am I? And the whole spiritual journey somehow starts from this point, yeah, because we hear there is a soul. From where do we hear that there is a soul? We hear the soul and the soul concept from the scriptures only. The science never comes and say that the soul is there. Now they have accepted it. This is something totally different. They have accepted it that the soul exists, but they never really believe it because they never seen it. But we say that we are the soul, or we say we are the body, because we even haven't seen that where that soul is in ourselves. So we are doing everything for our body. And this great question was asked by Ravana to Hanuman. When Hanuman attacked on the Ravana, I don't know how many of you are familiar with the Hanuman. Yeah, he is standing there on his statue up there. And he's the greatest devotee of Lord Rama. He is a one form of Krishna. And when he attacked on the Ravan's kingdom, and all the soldiers of Ravan's captured him and caught him and presented him and so Ravana asked, "Who are you?" And the moment this question was asked, that who are you, Hanuman got confused at what to say. And Hanuman is known as the most knowledgeable person or the god in the whole Hinduism. He said, "Ask any other question. I will give you the answers from all the scriptures, from all the life. Here, I'll give you the discourse for the 2-3 years without even any break. Ask me any question, that what is this world, what is that God, what is this, what is that, I will give you the answers. I'll tell you all the philosophy. But your question is very good. I will have no idea who I am." And Ravan was so confused by seeing Hanuman, because Hanuman was there in a form of monkey, and monkeys are very naughty. Yes, but Hanuman was not being a very naughty. Monkeys are very lusty. Yes, but this Hanuman is celibate. It's like, how can that be possible? A monkey is celibate. It cannot be possible. So he was so confused that, so he asked, Ravana asked this question, to Hanuman, that who are you? And he asked, who are you? I remember around 40 years ago, 30 to 40 years ago, one gentleman named Peter from Manchester, from England, he came first time to India. So my grandfather, he sent the car, to pick him up from the airport, from the New Delhi airport. So he sent the driver with that car. So he picked that gentleman named Peter, and Peter sat down in the car and the journey started. So 40 years ago, we did not have such kind of cars that in the radiator you put the coolant, or we used to put the water in there. Yes, time to time you have to pour some cold water into the radiator in the car, right? So he went and he picked him up, and then they were going back to Vrindavan. So they stopped their car because car got heated up, so had to stop the car to pour some water on the radiator. And so the driver stopped the car somewhere on the road, and the Peter was sitting on the back seat near to the window. And when those who have been to India, they know this thing very well, that when you go to India and any beggar finds you, he will never leave you, and he will chase you like hell unless you don't give the money to him. So here, driver was busy pouring the water into the radiator. One New Delhi beggar, he found that there is a white body sitting on the back seat. Yeah, he must have the money, a very good amount of money. So he went to that Peter. He knocked on the window, but he was tone deaf, so he couldn't even speak. He was like, oh, he put his hand and he started asking, give me the money, give me the money. Peter, it was the first time for Peter. Peter didn't know that what was happening. Peter thought maybe he's asking that who am I? Yes. So he said, oh, I'm Peter. I'm Peter. And he's like, I don't care who you are. Oh. It's like he took it. Who are you? Who are you? So he thought, oh, maybe he did not understand that who that Peter is. So maybe he's asking that from where I belong. So he said, I'm Peter from Manchester. I'm Peter from Manchester. Far Manchester. In India, you have to deal like this by showing the hands. Because people don't understand English, yeah. But again, he was asking, oh. It's like, I don't know what this guy is speaking, yeah. I want the money. When he was doing that, Peter was like, maybe he doesn't know where the Manchester is. Yeah, maybe he's a poor fellow who is living here. He doesn't know where that Manchester is. So he said, I'm from England. Manchester, England. But he was again keep asking, yeah, put the hand in your pocket, take the wallet out and give me the money. Right? He was, maybe he still doesn't understand that where this, England, is situated. How can I tell that? Who am I? But he's asking, he's not understanding who am I. So what? He's like, hey, I'm a sales manager. I'm a sales manager in one multinational company. And I live in Manchester and my name is Peter and I'm from England. The driver heard the voices are coming from somewhere. He was like, what is happening here? So driver turned and he saw, this beggar is asking him money, but this gentleman Peter is speaking about from where he is. Who is he? Because it was hard for him to tell or convey or to make other person understand that who he was. So driver was like, don't worry, don't tell him that who you are, just give the money. And he will go away. He's not asking who you are, he's asking where's the money, give the money. He gave the money. But this question is striked on Peter's mind, that who exactly he is. It was his first trip to India and to Vrindavan, to the where spiritual world we say. How do I define myself? Maybe I can say I'm Peter, but any day I can change my name whenever I want to. And this name, my family liked this name. They adopted this name, gave it to my body to recognize. So I can't even say this name is mine. This is a name which my family liked it and they gave it to my body to recognize. So who am I exactly? Maybe if I say that I live in the 7155 Mill House Drive, yeah, but I cannot even say that permanently I am going to live there. I do not know the state of my income. Maybe it will increase. I will go and buy the different big villa, right, John? Maybe. We do not know what is good. It is not going. It is not permanent. The house address is not permanent. We always move one place to another. And in America, I always find this thing. To whosoever you talk to, have moved in all the coast or in everywhere in America, and you find that person doesn't belong to that city, but it belongs to somewhere else. Always find here. So we cannot even say that I belong to this city, because I do not know that when I will leave this city and go to another place. So how can I even recognize myself? If I say that I am the director of this company, I do not know for how long I would be the director of that company, because my fate in the senior's hand, or my fate is is in control of my age as well. That after a time when the time will come to retire, I will be gone. I cannot then call myself that I am the director. And that's true as well. We cannot really call ourselves, or by telling that I am a director, I am the president of this NGO, or I am this, I am that, because everything is temporary. So the question is that who am I in actual? These, whatsoever the answers we give, it reflects the temporary state, that what we are on that time only. So how Hanuman was confused here as well. Hanuman didn't know what to even speak, that who he was. Then he started thinking that this Ravana have asked a very good question. And the biggest thing is that, I have seen in America, seriously, this is a very good quality, all Americans have it. Talk about on any issue, they can give you the big lecture. Any philosophy, anything, they'll give you, they have so much knowledge. Yes, I'm surprised when I sit there. I was like, okay, I did not even know this is all happening. Yeah, talk about anything. They come up with this company, this philosophy. I had never even heard so many philosophies. The philosophies I hear in America, and they tell you everything. They have the answers of everything. I asked, Das was yesterday telling us that, who killed whom, who attacked on whom. He had all the answers from the YouTube. We can give the answers of everything. But when it comes to this question, that who are you? You would be confused first that what to really speak. Or which is self I have to tell to this person. The self which is there in the public, or the self which I am when the house door is closed and what I am inside, or the self what I am when I am with my colleagues, or that self which I am when I am with the friends, or that self which is not shown to anyone. But I know it by myself. Which self I should show? It's a big dilemma always. Because we don't even have a one self. There are so many different selves are there. See, Ravana was a demon. He knew it that what he was doing. He told in the scriptures that I know that the Ram is going to kill me, but still I am taking his wife. He said directly this thing, that I know that the Ram will come and kill me, but still I am going to kidnap his wife. So he had only one face. Even though he had 10 faces in the scriptures, it is mentioned he was the 10-headed, but still those 10-headed were the one face. But here if we talk about, we have the one face, But we have so many selves. The selves which we want to show to others, the self which we cannot show to others, and the self which we try to show to others, or the self which we show on the Facebook, but we are doing something totally different, behind the Facebook. Hey, I'm in a very cheerful mood, but you are in a very dull mood in reality. Yeah, this is how I find it on the Facebook. So we do not even know that which self we have to show. And when the question comes that who exactly I am, you have no idea that which self I can show to other. I cannot even show my inner self to all the people. Maybe I will get hurt, or maybe the other person will take the advantage of it. Yeah? We think always. Yeah? We don't give the love to everyone because we feel that what if I will get cheated? So the inner self is secured somewhere in the heart which you are not trying to show to other. Or there is a black side of you which only you know and you don't want to show, or maybe some of your friends knows. You cannot even show to others. To the very few people you will show. But if in actually you ask yourself that which self are you in reality? The one, that black one, or the one which you hide it from everyone because you don't want to get hurt, or the one which you show in the public, or the one which you show with the friends and when you are with your family members, which self are you? You would be confused to give that answer, that who in actual you are. And that's the biggest question. And from here only, the spiritual journey starts. From here only. The spiritual journey doesn't start from here. Because we are confused to give this answer, we can give the answers of 100,000 things. We can define other stuff. We can, I always find in India, someone is always there to give you the lecture. Someone is always there to tell you that what you should do and what you should not do. But the question when it comes that who are you, they are always unable to speak that who they are in actual. The same question was asked to Hanuman. And Hanuman, the most knowledgeable God, he got confused for a second. That I cannot even identify or cannot even recognize myself with the temporary objects. Maybe I would say that I am this, but what if I will change? My name would change. In India, people, the women, they say my name is this, but after marriage they change their names. In the spirituality, when one comes and takes the initiation or something in the Hinduism, that we have this practice according to the scriptures that we give the one different name to that person. Yes, the spiritual name to that person. So his recognition of that old name is completely finished. So the name is also not like permanent object. Whenever we want to change, we can change the names. And you are not even identified by one name. People here call, their wives by calling honey, darling, sweetheart, and they are being recognized by using these terms as well. Yes. So obviously these are their names as well. Because you just need to identify, you want to talk, you want to recognize this, that self. So when this question was asked, Hanuman thought that what reply I should really give. It should be, should show the permanent connection. It should show the permanent connection that and give the recognition which is permanent. So he raised his hand and he said, Kaushalendrasya dasoham. Who am I? I am the servant of Lord Sri Rama. That's the 100% connection with the Lord. That's the connection of the soul, because it's the eternal servant, whether you recognize it or you don't recognize it. But those who know that their soul exists, they believe on the scripture, and those scriptures says that you are connected, you are the part and partial of that God. So he said that I am the eternal servant of my Lord. And the moment he said it, Ravana stood up from his seat and bowed to him, and he said that you have given the most perfect answer ever. And the moment when we really get to know that who we are, and then we say that I know that I'm the eternal servant, and I'm the soul of the, of that supreme soul. Now the second thing is start. That how to send that soul to the supreme soul. There are so many paths. I had also been into the different paths to see where the demon was or where that God was. I had also tried so many different things. And each one of you also are trying every day some different paths, some different things to find that where that God lives. Maybe we have some kind of a realizations, or which we call it a realization, but the experience is not there. The direct audience with the God is not there with many of us. But we still say that He exists. Why do we say that He exists? Because we are believing on the concept of the soul. When we are believing on the concept of the soul, and the concept of that soul came out from the scripture, and then the procedure is mentioned in the scripture only, that how to see that God. But there are so many paths are there. I have tried few only which belong to India or written in the scriptures, all those Hindu scriptures. In America, you have more than 800. I read one of the research where like a person came and he said that more than 800 religion and the paths are being practiced in America only. And I have seen very few while, being on the road trip, and by being from one coast to the another coast, I meet to the different people from the different path and all. And I met so many teachers in my life of the different paths as well. And I found out that the path which I follow, or the path which they follow, which they claim or they follow, there's a vast difference in those paths. And the vast difference between both paths are that their path at some point, or there is some kind of a flaw is there in terms of love. The love either in the beginning is not there, or in the procedure while in the middle it is not there, or maybe at the end it is not there. Somewhere there is a flaw, somewhere, and it's just not my own words, just not my own understanding. We have discussed, all the teachers sit, we discuss the different philosophies and different things. We talk about that what you have it, we have it, and we talk about that what's the similarities between our paths and things. But in all of that, I found that there are so many things to do. As I was doing it for all those 2-3 years when I was finding the God, sit straight, chant this mantra, or do the meditation. How many people can do the meditation? A person like me cannot do the meditation. I don't like to close my eyes and see what? I see myself, I see so many different other things. And you have to control your mind and see the, what do you say, impersonal object. What that impersonal is, I do not even know what that impersonal thing is. And for that, you really need a peaceful place where you can actually concentrate on your meditation. In India, you don't get such kind of a peaceful place at all. There is someone who is honking there. Okay, my mother is saying that this is the peaceful place to do the meditation. So, this path has so much to it, and it's not for everyone. Meditation is not for everyone. Then there is this yoga, I see hot yoga, cold yoga, this yoga, that yoga. Doing this posture, doing that posture. Not everyone can do. A lazy person like me cannot do such kind of a things. You have to sit completely straight in the Padmasana. The best yoga posture I always love is Shavasana. You just lie down and don't care of anything. Yeah. So this, our parents cannot do the yoga. Or a small baby cannot do the yoga. Only the certain group or the people can go for it. Not everyone can go for it. So while I was into my studying, while I was into my researching, while I was finding that how I can find the lazy yoga to attain the God or to experience the God or to see the God, I came to the conclusion that the most easiest way to see the God is by chanting His name in whichsoever mode you are. Your tongue have to just dance in your mouth to speak, to chant His name. You don't really need to do anything. And maybe a person can come and say, how can you say that? But if you really go in the depth of the scriptures, whichever religion you belong to, every religion talk about the holy name. And the saints have the rosemary beads and chanting the holy name only. Either you come talk about Sikhism, or you come talk about the Christianity, or you come talk about the Islam, or you come talk about the Hinduism. Any part of the India, anywhere, everyone have their beads, different beads, not even a same beads, but chanting the holy name. Even though many people do not even have the beads, but they still are chanting the holy name, because this is the laziest yoga. You just lie down anywhere, wherever you want to. You can sit anywhere you want to. You can travel anywhere you want to. You are flying one place to another. When you are flying, you cannot do the posture. You can't do the Surya Namaskara and all those Hatha Yoga. And you can't sit and do the meditation. But yes, you can chant the holy name. You can chant the holy name. And all the main gods and goddesses or the devotees which you remember from the India, not from here, I'm sorry, I don't know much about it. They all have chanted the holy name only. Hanuman, he chants Sitaram, 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 Sitaram. Lord Shiva, he chants Ram, 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 Ram. How did he hold the whole poison in his neck? He said Ra. By saying the Ra, he took all the poison in his neck. And Ma. By the power of that holy name Ram, the scripture says that he got able to hold the poison in his mouth. I would end my story here, or this, I will retire, my talk from my spiritual life to here, by delivering the last story. That this holy name has all the potency in it. No matters what, in whichever mode you are, howsoever you are chanting this holy name. because this is the lazy yoga, and God really knew about it, that either we will not find a time for ourselves for any kind of a meditation, because we are so busy to work 9 to 5 shift, and then coming back and making the food, or getting ready ourselves for the tomorrow, and like going to bed and waking up early, then doing our all household work, and on the Saturday Sundays are always busy meeting with our relatives, or cleaning our own houses. So God already knew about it. Either the person would be so lazy or would be so determined to his work that he won't really get the chance to do any kind of austerity at the spiritual practice. So how on that time he would be able to receive my 100% mercy? By chanting the holy name. No matter where you are, either you are even on the deathbed, you still can chant, or chant by your mind. That's the laziest one. Yesterday we were talking about that. They were asking me to write a book on lazy yoga. I said I will definitely do it, because this is all we want. And there's a story comes of the Haribol Baba, which I knew personally, and he was so much determined on the holy name, and he went to one of the state called Bihar. In the Bihar, there was a one landlord who used to smoke the ganja and the, what do you say here? Weed and pots. Yeah, they took me to the one store, Vishakha and Shama took me to the one store where they were selling all the pots, and I was like, wow, I never even imagine that there is so much revolution into the pots, that this kind of a pot, that shape of pot, or everything. I find it in America now. So when I went, so I remember that landlord used to serve all the devotees, but he had this thing that he was a follower of Shiva. So with being a follower of Shiva, there is always a one good thing, that Lord Shiva sometimes, or some his devotees, offer the bhang, which is a form of
liquid form of
like marijuana.
Yeah.
So people drink that every day in the evening. If you go to Benares, or if you go to Rishikesh, or if you go to any Shiva place, they will, in the evening you will see the red eyes, and you will understand, okay, he is high. And they call themselves spiritually high. Spiritually high, even though they are not meditating like what Shiva is meditating to, but they call themselves high. So this man started, whosoever, any saint or sages used to come, he used to give, enjoy this marijuana, enjoy this. Now he got so famous. All those people who wanted to enjoy the marijuana, they became in a sage. They put, every evening they used to put the dress of the saints and sages, and used to go to his house to get the free marijuana. Like it was free, but only for the sages and saints. So they all started going there. When they all started going there, and it started giving a bad impression that this is not what the spiritual practice is all about, that being high, and you don't know where you are, what you are doing. Some are in the drains, somewhere any dog is coming and peeing on them. Yeah. Yeah, in India the dogs are always there on the roads. Yeah, so it's very easy. So when it was, so one saint from Vrindavan, his name was Haribol Baba. He went to that place and asked to that landlord that please stop all of these bogus things. It's like, I will not stop these bogus things. Like, why would you not stop it? It's like, because the God is not here. These all Babajis and these all saints and sages are fake. And I'm seeing the reality. because they all are engrossed in all of these, their desires to come in the evening and enjoy this marijuana. Haribol Baba replied, "You are completely wrong. The God is here and the power is there in His holy name. Like, I don't believe it. Prove it to me." Like, how do you want me to prove it to you? Like, I will make a one drink for you. Drink that, and if you won't get high, I will do whatsoever you want to. He was a landlord. He, somehow arranged different kinds of weeds, different kinds of alcohol, and the different kinds of different other drugs. He mixed all of them together. That was the high shot. What do you say? It was not even a tequila shot or something. It was like all liquors all together. And then he put all the drugs which could be into it. All the drugs in there. Not those which you smoke, but the other ones which you can mix with the drinks and all. In India, we have so many varieties. So, mixing a liquor is one of the hard thing to digest. This is what I heard. I don't know in experience that whether it is or not. Yeah, but I have seen so many people in college, all my friends, that sometime they used to, what do you say, mixing cocktail. Yeah, when they used to make up heavy cocktails with the Indian brands, with some different things into it, and then they used to get high and puking everywhere. So here, like, he made like such kind of a one which was turned into the poison. It was actually a poison. And mixing all different kinds of drugs and putting it in the one place, and then he said, and then he asked that Haribol Baba, "Can you drink this?" And it was not just like 100 gram or 50 gram or 50 milliliter. He gave the 5 liters of that. It's just not a one bottle of rum or vodka you are drinking, or you feel that that's my capacity, I can drink it. Nothing will happen. 5 liters of that. He gave that to him, and he asked that, "Can you drink it?" Haribol Baba said, "For the holy name, for the sake of holy name, and for the sake of this spirituality, I can drink whatsoever you will offer. And are you sure nothing will happen?" Haribol Baba replied, "I'm 100% sure nothing will happen to me. People were so afraid that you will be dead. You never even smoked a cigarette in your whole life. You were celibate, then you became a sage." But he was like, "Don't stop me today. Today I have to prove that, yes, the holy name has the all potency in it." He sat down, took that big pot where that whole liquid was in there, that drug was in there, and he drank all of that. Hundreds of people was watching that. Hundreds of people were watching that. He drank 5 liters of that in a one go. And after drinking, he said, "Hare Krishna." He said that when our Shiva have, capability to hold the poison by chanting the Krishna's name once, then why, can't I have the same capability to holding just the 5 liters of this liquid? He sat down there. People were watching him. And he said, "My medicine to cut all the bad effects of this is the Kirtana." And he sat down and he started chanting, "Jai Jai Radharaman Hari Bol, Jai Jai Radharaman Hari Bol." For 24 hours he was sitting there and he was chanting. And then after 24 hours he said, all the bad effect has gone. It took me a time, but nothing had happened. And he stood up in front of that landlord and said, do you have any more drugs to give it to me? That landlord was shocked by seeing the power of that holy name. He took the shelter of Haribol Baba and he said, when the holy name can kill all the bad effects of the poison, I think that my body is full of poison, and if I will take the shelter of you and whatsoever holy name you will give it to me, and by chanting that holy name I will kill all the bad effects of that poison and will become the good person. And just not, there are thousands of stories like, talks about those kirtana, and which we do knowingly or unknowingly every day, and have no idea that what we really get. But I can tell you that just by chanting the holy name, all the sins which we have done in this life and in the previous lives, everything finishes by that moment when you open your mouth and chants the holy name. That's the lazy yoga, so I have to find the scriptural quotations as well. And it is the Lord Himself, because the name and the personality are not non-different. They are non-different. And the scripture says that the Nama Chintamani Krishna's Chaitanya Dev Swayam. That the holy name is the Krishna himself. That Chintamani. And it removes all sins. In my life, as I belong to the lazy yoga, the yoga of the kirtan of this holy name, I believe on the results rather than believing on some scriptural quotations. Yes, I do believe, I have the full faith on them, but I want to see the result as well, because I'm a body at some point. Okay, I am a soul, I can say, but still I am a body. Yes, I'm eating. I can't just say that I'm a soul, but the soul doesn't eat. Soul doesn't get the hunger, but body gets the hunger. Yes, so we are living for, in this material world for the body as well. And there are so many people who come who have their different ideas, or they have different issues in their lives, and they want to get rid of those problems, those issues, so they can be focused on their spiritual life. Yeah, any problem can be there. Either the problem can be there from the cold, either that problem can be there the health wise, or the problem can be there, in a way of like, I'm stuck in this job, even though I should be, getting a promotion, but I'm not getting it. Something is there stopping it. I do not know what is there, which is stopping me. Or there's thousands of problems are there in our lives. And for everything, the scripture says there is a specific holy name to chant, and by chanting the holy name, one gets that. I have tried on my followers or on my people who came to me and asked me, like, tell me, I have this problem, please give me some kind of ideas. Like, if you go to any other doctors, he will charge you, hey, for this spiritual practice you have to pay $400, and you will give because you are stuck. When you go to the doctor and doctor says you have to pay $100, you will pay because you are stuck with this, disease in your body and you want to get rid of it. In the same way, those people who approach to the spiritual masters, and when they approach the spiritual master says, that's the nice time to cash. I have seen many, not all the spiritual masters are like this, but many spiritual masters are like this, that they cash that. And when they cash, it's all about becomes the business. When God is there, advice is free because we are lazy. We don't really need to get into any kind of such kind of austerities. We have to sit straight, do the fire offerings, or call the gods, or do some kind of austerity. So I started following all of that, and I started finding that not just me who loves Krishna, and that is why I chant his name. Yes, I chant his name because I love him. I found that this is what the Krishna does with the Radha, and Radha does with the Krishna as well. They chant their name. One day, Krishna wanted to see Radharani, and Krishna went to see her, and when he went to see Radha, hid herself behind some bushes and asked her friend that don't tell that I'm here. Let Krishna find me and get more separation, or that feeling. Let him cry. I don't want to see him today. So Radha, hid herself. Here Krishna came, asked that where is Radha? Where is Radha? And they said, Radha is not here. Go back to your house. Radha is not here. Krishna was like, no, she is here. I can smell her scent. I can smell her fragrance. She is here. She is here. And he was like, all the friends, the Radharani's friends were like, no, she is not here. She was here, because of that, her fragrance is still here with us. But she is not here. Don't take it in this way that we are lying. We are, we speak the truth always. We never lie. So understand, you go. And Radha was behind the bushes. My friends are very clever. Very nice. Here Krishna was like, but where shall I go and find her? Like, we do not know. Go and find by yourself. Why are you wasting our time? Just go, leave. Like, no, please tell me. Where is she? Where is she? And so all the friends said, do one thing. Sit here for 30 minutes and chant Radha's name. So Krishna sat down there and started chanting Radha, 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 Radha for 30 minutes, and Radharani did not appear. Did not come. After 30 minutes, Krishna got up. He was furious. He was like, where is Radha? I have chanted her name for 30 minutes, but she didn't come. It's like, confused. Where is she? Where is she? Oh, all those Radharani's friends were like, oh, you know what? You have so many offenses. You have committed so many offenses in your life. You had killed the one mother who came to breastfeed you, who was known, actually he was a demon, Putana, who came to kill to Krishna in a form of a mother. So gopis, or the friends of Radharani, are not saying directly that you killed the demon, but they are saying you killed the mother. So this is one offense. Then you stole the clothes of the gopis, another offense. Then what you did, you stole all the butters from the houses, another offense. And then you killed the one bull, another offense. And then you killed the one cow. You have done so many offenses, and because of that you cannot see Radha. How can I remove all of these offenses from my life? How I want to see Radha. I want to see Radha. Where is she? I can't live without her. It's like, do one thing. If you want to remove all the offenses from yourself, do the kirtan of Radha. Do the kirtan of Radha. Krishna sat down and started clapping there and saying Radhe, 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 Radhe. The moment he started doing the kirtan, Radharani couldn't hold herself. Or herself couldn't even hold her, hiding behind the bushes. She manifested or appeared in front of Krishna. And she was like, how come I'm here? I was behind the bushes. And then Radharani realized That's the power of Kirtana. And that's the power of Kirtana, which how we even started today's our meeting or our program. Even though God doesn't want to appear, but by the power of the Kirtan, by the power of that holy name which we chant, He have to appear. There's no if and no but in it. And this is the yoga which I practice, and which is the yoga my gods practice, and to my gods I only can ask that He bestow the mercy of His laziness upon us. So we can chant the holy name, and by the grace or by the blessing of that holy name, one day He have to, and He will definitely will appear and will make you realize that yes, He exists, and He exists. Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Sham.
Any questions?
You know, when you start out with this kind of philosophy or this approach, this path, and you're talking about with the ego or the self-image that you have or who you really are, who are you? Many people are scared to let go of that image, and they may have many images, as you said. But when you start chanting that, you can't obviously be there. So as you do that, you let go of eventually by doing. You don't even have to bring up the issues or the ego issues that you have, the fears, the doubts, the worries, the concerns. It just automatically disappears.
Everything automatically disappears. Kirtan has that power, and the holy name has that power, that we don't even need to even get into the scriptures. Just chant, and by the mercy of that holy name, every bad qualities of ourselves disappears and the good qualities starts to come.
What about the feeling with the chanting?
Everything comes.
I mean, so if you chant, you may not feel the love, or you may not feel the connection or the harmony or whatever, but that eventually comes too.
Everything comes by it. The easiest thing that I'm just chanting and Krishna is sending everything to us, rather than we are running to achieve it. That's the biggest difference. That's why I said the yoga of the laziness.
I see. The only other thing I like, being English and being in this country, to me, God is Father. I say Jesus too, but I don't see Jesus as any more God than any of us. I think he just trying to show us the path there to God. And obviously he's very holy, but chanting Father would be just as valuable as chanting Krishna.
Can be and can be not.
I'm saying that that's my connection to
that
Supreme.
In that way it can be, because he presents himself in that way, and it cannot be, as I said, because we are not directly chanting his name, we are chanting his representative, as you said, his name, and by that we are approaching him. And but again, every god are same, but the thing is that by chanting the holy name of that god, we are approaching to the certain specific form of that god, specific mood of that god. And with Krishna there is a one thing, and basically, let's say that, as you said, that as you belong to here, and
well, I feel a connection to God, but to my mind, he's Father, that's how I look at it, and Jesus is a part too, but he's Father. And so to me, just saying Father is a very strong, I feel a rapport there with that word and that name and that in the spirit of who he really is. And so would that not be just as good as saying Krishna? Or, I mean, even though he's not a personality, though. I mean, you're right. He's not somebody that's seen as a personality, and I don't want to see him as a personality, as a human personality. I mean, but I mean, again, like you say, Krishna has a personality with being devilish and all that. And, but I mean, I don't know.
Try it, whichever God's name you like.
I
Yeah,
see.
would lead you or would take you to the one.
Right.
Mm.
I see.
And with the Krishna, there is one thing. The exclusiveness with the Krishna is that, you know how a cop, gives the fear when he moves in the city, in the downtown, or let's say sitting in his car, and we are driving our car, and we all of a sudden see that, okay, what's the speed of our car, and we slow it down because we don't want to be caught by that police, by that cop. It gives the fear in us. But that fearful image or that fearful personality, when he goes back to his house and takes off his uniform, then he lives the relationship in the family, and maybe on that time he is being feared by his parents, or maybe by his furious wife, or by anyone in the family. But when he is out, he is giving the fear to everyone. With the God, I always felt this, even in our religion, in our, in spiritual practices, with the Shiva, Krishna, and the others, that they have this godly opulence on them, where if you do something wrong, you will go to hell. If you will do this thing, you will go to heaven, or some kind of those teachings were always there. And they were so strict and so in a godly way that I could not really relate with them. I was like, no, he's there, in a personal way, where I could even make the personal relationship with that, with that God. So while I was reading all the scriptures and studying all the scriptures, and I understood our philosophy on that time, and that philosophy says that God, Krishna, when he is out from Vrindavan, when he is out from that town Vrindavan, he wears his uniform, the godly uniforms. But when he comes back to his house, to his city, he takes his godly opulence and put it on the hanger. And then he lives the relationship with his friends, with his mother, with his brother, with all the cowherd women. And this is the exclusiveness. The godly, opulence is not there. It's the relationship is there with that God. So with the Krishna, this is the more exclusivity, I would say, that he allow us to live the relationship with him. So there we are not terrified or the horrified when we make any mistake even. Yeah, sometimes there are hundreds of stories where like the devotee of Krishna tells Krishna or shout on Krishna, and Krishna starts to cry. You cannot do this thing to the God. If God says something, we start to cry. But the Krishna appears, and on that time we make him, hey, do this, and he's like, yes, I will do it. Why he's doing all of that? Because of that love, the relationship of that love. Sanatan Goswami, one of the main sage or the disciple, the main first disciple of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he got the deity of Krishna. And he was worshipping, and Krishna appeared from there, and Krishna said, you are every day offering me that dry food, because you are a hermit and you are living that life. There's no spices in the food, so give me something. I'm not hermit, you are hermit. Give me some nice food, tasty food. So or do one thing, just put the salt so I can even taste that tasteless food. He said, yes, why not? I will definitely do it. Yes, I am living a hermit life. You are not. He went, he asked, in the alms that please give me the extra salt because my God wants it. So they gave the extra salt, and he went and he started putting that salt in the plate of Krishna, used to offer that food to him. After a few days, Krishna again came and he said, this is still spiceless. I'm not a patient. Come on, put some spices into it. He was like, yeah, you're right. I should really put some spices or something. So he went and started putting some spices in there. After a few days, again he appeared and he said, look, it is so dry. It started to scratch all the veins inside. Yes. I will start bleeding. So stop, please put some oil next to it. Yeah, so start to mix the oil in the food. And Sanatana Goswami got so angry. And he was like, hey Krishna, listen to me now. Yeah? Go back in your DT form. Whatever I am offering, accept it as it is. And if you want the good food whatsoever, go and get it by yourself. I'm not going to offer it. I'm a hermit. I'm renounced. I'm not going to again make a household life, having a kitchen, having this, spices, that, oil, and working and getting the money. I'm not going to do all of this thing for you. I'm living this hermit life and I will live this. Can you say this to the God? If God will come, I'll demand something in front of you and you will do anything for him. But that's the relationship here. Krishna went inside. He was like, okay, I will do. Don't get angry. Sorry. I asked. And yes, he arranged by himself. Yes, he arranged by. There was one man was going. He stopped his boat. In the river, and man tried all his ways to start his boat, but his boat couldn't really move an inch. Then he went to ask the blessings from the different sages and the saints. Please do something. My boat is stuck in the water. Can't move. Then everyone gave the blessing but didn't move. Then he went to the Sanatana Goswami and Sanatana Goswami said, hey, don't talk to me. Just go please to my God who is sitting there. And God was there. And God, actually it was the whole God's, arrangement. And when he came and he's like, look, you got a good profit this time from your business. Give me the 50%. Then I will make your boat move. There was no other choice for that businessman, for that gentleman. He gave his half of the money, half of the profit, and Krishna was like, now I am happy. Asked Sanatana Goswami, hey, make some nice food for me. This is the money. Take the money or arrange the people. That man went. When his boat started moving, and later whatsoever he gave, he got like 50 more times than that. Assets, and he got so happy that he came back and built a huge temple in Vrindavan. And that temple is one of the biggest temple of Vrindavan. So that's the relationship which we pursue with him. It's more into the, we can say, intimate relationship. There's no fear as such. The fear is there, but that fear is the positive fear, which is there in the beginning. Like when a person goes on a date with one, girl, or, it's always the fearful that, or scared that I do not know what she likes, what she doesn't like, but I want, or if he or she thinks the same, I don't know how to impress that person. So on that time, what the people do, they might try, if they know their friends, they will approach their friends and find out that what they like and what they don't like. And by that they will start to please that person. And by pleasing it, that the fear will start to go away, will start to remove, and the love will start to flourish. But with the godly opulence, there is a negative fear is always there. And that negative fear means that we are worshipping the fear in a primary way, and we are loving the God, that's the secondary thing. We are loving the God because we are fearful. That if we won't do it, then he would send us to somewhere. where we do not want to go. So that fear never flourished the love. Is there and becomes a duty only. So I never wanted to have a duty with my God. I wanted to love Him because there's no reason to, as like I love myself. There's no reason. I cannot forget other people by their mistakes which they have done, but I can forget myself in a second, whatsoever mistakes I will do. Because I love myself. And to save myself, I can go to any extent. Because there is no reason. I just love myself. In the same way, there's no reason for me now. Maybe there was a reason in the beginning, but now there's no reason to love Him. And that's what, in the exclusiveness or the exclusivity is there in the Vrindavan love. And many of our saints, enjoy or pursue the intimate relationship with Him and live the relationship as it is. More question? Yes.
I have a few questions, but I will say that I have had close relationships with many Christians, Catholics, Buddhists, several Muslims, Hindus, and I have found that across the board that singing the name of God has really taken away all fear, anxiety, worries, all that the ego might bring. And I remember being at an ashram and us doing the Jesus prayer as a mantra with one speaker, a Catholic mystic that was there speaking, and that was really cool, because mostly it was Shivananda, and but the main theme was God is one, the names are many.
Mm-hmm.
And so leaders from all religions would come and do their talks, and we would participate in everyone's, and so I really learned that whichever one spoke to each person, as long as they could find that, and that was their sadhana, but my main question is, I have so many questions and so much gratitude. Your story really hit home.
Home run.
Yeah, because I honestly had the same conversation with my parents about the flight attendant. No, recently, like maybe 5 years later, my dad was like, maybe you should do the flight attendant thing. I cannot believe that he would ever go back to that, because that was over his dead body. That would not happen. That's the last thing you can do. And now, like recently, like 3 weeks ago, he's like, maybe you should apply for that. And I'm like, Dad, are we there? Have we given up? So really, I thank you. It means a lot, and I was wondering if you could explain prasad, because we have some prasad over there, and if there's a certain blessing that should be done to the prasad before we offer it. I think it's over there in the bowl. It's not.
What's in there?
It's simply dark chocolate covered.
Wow.
Coconut.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
There's dark chocolate covered walnuts and dark chocolate covered ginger.
Oh.
So there's 3 different kinds, but.
Because I remember once, I was at the one place. It was some dearest people have invited me to their, for the dinner, and they were Christians, and they came to me and they were like, that's the blood and then that's the bread, offered, and I was like, I'm not going to drink the blood. And later I understood that it was actually not the blood but the wine which they offered it. Yeah, so I hope, but this one is more delicious.
Can you explain prasad?
That's a very good question. Prasad. Prasad of holy name or prasad of this prasad?
Like, every day after temple we would have prasad, but it was it was always on the altar throughout meditation, throughout chant, and then throughout the lecture, and then it was it blessed, or
See, usually, like when we make a relationship with the God, let's say even if there's a relationship that He's a father and we are son, so then we also pursue that relationship with Him, that He's also hungry, as like we are hungry. Or when we make a relationship that He's a baby, so we put the milk for Him, we put all those things, not the diapers, but the different but the different all the different kinds of foods, like the one which baby can eat and all. So we put it in front of our Lord, and by putting it our Lord, we have to recite the certain mantras for the offering and for asking the God that please you come and accept this bhog. It is known as bhog. The food is known as the food which is made for the God is known as the bhoga. You say the bhoga, we say bhog mainly. So we offer it to the God. We ask Him that please you take this, eat this bhog and give your remnant, to us. We do not, I personally, if you really ask my own understanding, that I don't really get into many of those prayers, yes, but I get into the prayer by asking that I am working for you as a sales manager. It's all your company, and I don't want to get sick, and I don't want to go on a sick leave. So please take all the bad things from this, or the bad vibes from this food, and give me the positivity and the remnant of yours which I can enjoy. The easy one. And this is the gist of all the prayers as well. Yes. So I ask Him that please be merciful upon me, and on yourself first, be merciful upon yourself, because you are working so hard, going to the pasture land, meeting Radha, dancing with all the gopis and all the cowherd women. So you must be so hungry. So we have like we have scriptures, and in those scriptures we have the 24 hours that what Krishna do on every minute is mentioned in our scriptures. So we meditate that. So when he wakes up, we know when he wakes up, and it is very good, very intimate. It makes makes our connection very intimate, very personal. Because if we love someone, let's say I love my wife, even though I don't have any, when I will go out from the house, I will think about it that okay, this is 2:00 in the afternoon. What she would be doing right now? I would think and make a connection with that. Or I will think that at 6:00 in the evening, what is she doing right now? And I will come up with the answer as well, that she must be watching television, or she must be talking with her friends, or she must be doing this and that. Yes, in a very same way that what Krishna does, our scriptures talk about it. So we know that what he does when he comes back to home, and what so if we have to bring the food to to the pasture land if he's there with the cows, or if he has come back, then what he needs. So we have the personal care and the personal relationship which we pursue. So we meditate that, and in that meditation we ask that you are there in that mode or in that situation, and I'm offering this food to you. Please accept this food and give your remnant to us. So as you have brought the very sweetest bhoga, which is known as the chocolate.
Yes.
Yeah. So I guess Das will offer it to the God, and ask that God to make his sweet remnant. So then we can all accept it as his remnant. Yeah. And that turns into the prasad. Yes, sir.
I have a thought of something I would like to share.
Please.
Once I was doing a spiritual practice and getting very deeply into it, and I had a moment of breakthrough, and the statement came, it's not like a magic trick that you'll spoil if you don't do it right. It's your mother holding you in her arms.
Wow.
Perfect. That's a perfect word. Love it.
And it resonated with what you
Yeah.
have shared, so I thought I wanted to share that back.
That's, our spiritual journey, everyone's spiritual journey is same. Yes. We maybe have taken the different highways, to reach to that place. The destination is still the same. I enjoyed it, what you just shared. Thank you. More caution?
You touched briefly on Maya when you were describing your dream, and your God told you that the woman you were chasing still was the Maya, and that's not really a concept I have in my religion, being a Christian, but studying what Jesus was trying to teach us how to live, it was really like not worrying about the physical trappings of this world and just trusting in God. And but I've heard the word Maya and I've read different things about it, but not having been raised in Hinduism, I don't really have a clear concept of what that means. And I was wondering if you could just kind of briefly explain that to me.
And what did you till now understand from that Maya after that reading?
Which is I've heard kind of conflicting things, that one is like just an illusion, or one that is like the physical manifestation of the universe. I mean, I don't know. Just
What Dasa would say? Just a second.
I would say the Christian equivalent is probably the devil, the force that tricks us, it deludes us, the deceiver. And Hinduism is considered female, the witch called Maya, whereas in Christianity it's the male devil kind of concept. But I would say that that's a parallel.
But he said that there's not such things exist as Maya in the Christianity.
Well, the concept of devil exists.
okay. Maybe I just haven't really put the two together like that.
Basically,
It's taking our concept of our experience as the underlying reality. There's a saying of Jesus that is usually translated well, I don't remember the usual translation, but the translation I'm thinking of is, turn around and look, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. And it's usually said, repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. And seeing Maya is seeing the world in one light, and seeing God, seeing reality, seeing truth, is seeing the world just from a different perspective. That's one way of...
the easy way, which the scriptures say, or the easiest way of defining it, is whatever distract us from the God is known as Maya. The easiest way of explaining that, whatever it is. It can be anything. So that's the illusion which she puts, which distract us from the God, is known as Maya. I don't want to get into the heavy philosophical.
Keep it simple. Simple as good.
Any
Most
more?
of us who are studying Sanskrit, we understand Maya is two. Ma means not, and Ya means this.
Huh.
So we're thinking this is something, but it's not that.
Yeah.
So Maya means not this.
Not this.
It's like a seducer.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this cigarette I will enjoy. Well, it's not that because
Yeah, and the first time,
Not
not
this.
like when after you become a chain smoker.
And
So
then you
shall
get
we
answer.
retire our evening now? With the kirtan of 5 minutes? What's the time?
10.
Oh yeah?
Actually,
Wow.
10 till 10.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. Good party.
Because there was fun.
Fun. Insightful.
Yeah. If there was so much philosophy, it was going to be boring.
Jai Jai Radharamana Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radharamana Hari Bol.
Jai Jai Radharamana Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radharamana Hari Bol.
Jai Jai Radharamana Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radharamana Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radharamana Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radharamana Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radharamana, 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 Jai Jai
Thank you, Shava.